If you're tuned in right now, chances are you or someone you really care about knows that feeling, that gut-wrenching moment when your foundation just gets ripped out from under you.
Hmm.
Betrayal, infidelity, it hits like a physical force, doesn't it? It's not just sadness, it's this
It
catastrophe.
really is total disorientation.
Exactly. The confusion is huge. Finding a path forward feels, well, almost impossible in that moment.
Right.
And when you're in that kind of crisis, you don't need a whole library. You need a map. You need clarity, not more noise.
Absolutely. Something actionable.
So our mission today is really to give you a shortcut to understanding that map. We're doing a deep dive into the framework of Angel Gabriel's guide, Reclaimed Heart, navigating betrayal to find your unbreakable self.
Yeah,
And this book, it promises more than just getting back on your feet. It talks about a total re-architecture of your self-worth.
it does. And what's really interesting is how Gabriel frames this. It's not just, a relationship problem. It's positioned as a profound psychological injury,
Okay.
a real crisis point that, if you navigate it the way the book lays out, actually becomes the catalyst for forging this resilience you probably never knew you had. Yeah, the
Resilience.
core promise, the destination, is what the book calls becoming an unbreakable self.
Unbreakable self. I like the sound of that.
So we're essentially going to walk you through the big phases of this transformation Gabriel describes, going from that initial shattered state, the victim, to becoming the sovereign architect of your life.
Okay.
We want to validate how intense things feel right now if you're in it, and show you the kind of road Angel Gabriel maps out for rebuilding.
But it's important to say.
Right. It is crucial to remember the real power of this journey, the actual how-to, lies in the specific sequential methods and tools. Those are detailed exclusively inside the book's pages.
So we're giving the overview, the what.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
give you the conceptual map today. The book itself provides the compass and the step-by-step directions.
Got it. Okay, let's dive in then. Let's unpack this journey, starting right where it begins, the catastrophe itself. Chapter 1 is called The Earthquake. When your world crumbles. An earthquake feels right. It's not just heartbreak, is it?
No, not at all. It's your entire reality just
Right.
collapsing, often with zero warning.
Yeah.
And if you feel like your system is literally imploding, you're not exaggerating, that's real. This is a profound psychological injury. It's distinct, kind of uniquely cruel, because it comes from inside your supposed safe zone.
Right.
And the book really validates this using the lens of Dr. Jennifer Frid's betrayal trauma theory, BTT.
BTT. Okay, that sounds a bit clinical. For listeners, what makes betrayal trauma different from, say, other kinds of trauma?
Well, the key difference, the really insidious part, is this. The very person, or sometimes system, that was meant to be your safety, they become the source of the damage. In romantic betrayal, the person who were your safe harbor, your secure base, suddenly they are the existential threat, and your mind just cannot reconcile the image of the trusted partner with the deceiver. That internal conflict, that triggers this cascade of really debilitating symptoms.
Okay, so if I'm listening, what am I physically feeling, mentally feeling, that BTT helps explain?
Physically, you're likely deep in the physiological fallout. We're talking crippling panic attacks, maybe relentless nausea, that awful insomnia where your mind just won't shut off.
Oh, yeah.
And mentally, there's that suffocating fog, right? That's cognitive dissonance. Your mind knows the awful truth, but part of you just can't accept the reality because it's too devastating.
And the book mentions betrayal blindness.
Yes, that's a key part of it. It's the mind's protective mechanism.
So that's why I might keep trying to rationalize things or explain it away, even when the evidence is, like, right there. It's not me being weak.
Not at all. It's your brain essentially hitting the emergency brake because the reality is too painful to process all at once. It's your system trying desperately to maintain that feeling of safety, even if it knows deep down that safety is now an illusion.
Wow. Okay.
Understanding that piece is often the first real step toward liberation. It's not your fault your brain is reacting this way.
Okay. So once that initial shock maybe starts to wear off a tiny bit, then comes that relentless mental looping. Chapter 2 gets into this. Unraveling the narrative. Beyond the obvious lies, this is where you start asking why constantly. Was it me? Was I not enough?
Yes, and that's such a critical and dangerous juncture. It's where so many people get stuck. We naturally want a simple answer to why, and tragically, we often turn it inward.
Right. Self-blame.
Exactly. But Gabriel's framework really pushes back hard against those common myths that trap the betrayed person in that self-blame cycle. Well, the book clarifies that infidelity is rarely, truly about the person who is betrayed. Often it's more about the betrayer trying to find some lost or unmet part of themselves, this deep internal loneliness or void they're projecting outwards. It's usually not just about sex or even fundamentally about the other person involved.
That's a huge shift in perspective.
It is. And understanding the complexity is vital. But the book also delivers the clear, unequivocal answer you desperately need to really anchor your recovery.
And what is that anchor point?
Simply this: the choice to betray. It is always 100% unequivocally the choice and the responsibility of the betrayer.
Okay.
And
Clear.
failing absolutely requires you, the listener, to start untangling your fundamental self-worth from their actions.
Right.
You have to separate those two things, and the book provides the actual steps to consciously begin doing that.
Okay, so we start unraveling the mental side, putting responsibility where it belongs. Then you finally have maybe a little space to notice just how badly your body is reacting. Which is why Chapter 3 makes this critical shift, focusing right on the body. The body keeps the score, healing your physiological wounds.
This is moving from just understanding the trauma mentally to actually treating the physical impact. Because relational trauma doesn't just stay in your head, it literally imprints itself onto your physiology.
How does that work scientifically?
Neuroscience shows us that this kind of deep trust rupture actually reshapes neural pathways. It floods your system with the toxic cocktail of stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. It's like your internal alarm system is stuck on.
So that feeling of being constantly on edge, like waiting for the other shoe to drop, that's not just stress.
No, it's a profound physiological state. You get stuck in hypervigilance, that feeling like danger is always around the corner, or sometimes the opposite, this kind of numbing detachment, just feeling checked out.
Yeah, I can see that.
Either way, your nervous system is locked in the danger zone, and that leads to deep physical exhaustion, sleep problems, even chronic pain sometimes.
So what's the way out, according to the book?
Well, what Angel Gabriel really emphasizes is that you can't do the deep self-exploration. You can't make clear, rational decisions until your body feels safe again. That's foundational.
You have to calm the system first.
Exactly. The key takeaway is that you literally cannot access your best thinking until you consciously signal safety to your nervous system. So healing has to begin there, reclaiming safety within your own skin.
How? What does the book suggest?
It details specific, intentional foundational steps. Things like self-soothing practices, gentle breathwork techniques designed to directly signal safety to your brain. This prepares the ground, it calms the waters, so you can do the deeper work.
Okay, that makes sense. Body first. Then what?
Then the next phase, Chapter 4, turns inward more deeply. This moves us towards being the architect. Beyond blame, your blueprint of love. This is where you start unearthing the deeper relational patterns you brought into the relationship, often formed long before this betrayal ever happened.
Blueprint of love. What does
Yeah.
that mean exactly?
It refers to your love blueprint, that sort of unconscious set of rules, expectations, and coping mechanisms you learned, usually from very early life experiences. It's rooted in attachment theory, essentially.
Okay, I've heard of attachment styles. How do those blueprints matter after a betrayal?
They matter immensely because they often dictate how you instinctively react to the pain and the breach of trust. For instance, did you develop more of an anxious blueprint? If so, you might react to betrayal by immediately chasing reassurance, needing closeness, even if it means compromising your own needs or boundaries.
Or the opposite?
Or maybe you're more avoidant. Your reaction might be to shut down completely, push the partner away emotionally, build walls, even if part of you doesn't want to. Gabriel's work, as presented in the book, really helps you identify your specific archetype. And crucially, it helps you see how earlier experiences, maybe things like childhood emotional neglect you didn't even recognize as trauma, might have shaped that blueprint.
Right.
Seeing this pattern clearly is presented as your liberation. It's a key to breaking free from these cycles that might have unconsciously set you up for repeated heartbreak or unhealthy dynamics. The book provides tools to uncover your specific blueprint and, critically, how to start consciously rewriting it towards a more secure attachment style within yourself.
Okay, so we've addressed the mind, the body, the deeper patterns. Now it feels like we're moving into active rebuilding. Chapter 5 is setting sacred boundaries, reclaiming your personal space.
Yes, this is absolutely non-negotiable for moving forward. It's about reclaiming your self-sovereignty.
Boundaries. People talk about them a lot, but what's the book's take?
The book is very clear. Boundaries are not about punishment. They aren't walls you throw up just to lash out at the person who hurt you.
Okay.
They are essential, non-negotiable expressions of self-respect and self-preservation. They clearly define where you end and others begin. This creates the necessary energetic and emotional space you absolutely need to heal.
The book calls them sacred and non-negotiable. But honestly, trying to enforce a boundary, say around digital privacy or needing emotional space with someone who betrayed you, that often feels like initiating another fight, right? Another risk. How does the framework handle that friction?
That's a great point. The book guides you to understand that the initial friction you feel when enforcing a new boundary, that's the discomfort of shifting from old, possibly unhealthy norms to a new standard of self-respect.
Okay, so the discomfort is part of the process.
Yes, and it requires mastering what the book calls the assertive communication style. This means stating your needs and limits clearly, calmly, and firmly without needing the other person's validation or agreement. It's about your needs, not their reaction.
What kinds of boundaries does it focus on?
Gabriel helps you establish 4 key types: emotional, physical, digital, and time boundaries. And the book provides practical ways to deploy them consistently, reinforcing the idea that your well-being, your worth, is simply not up for debate.
That focus on self-worth leads perfectly into the next part, Chapter 6. Reclaiming your power. This feels like a major shift, moving from just surviving what happened to you to actually thriving because of you.
It is a profound power shift. You're transitioning out of that passive experience of victimhood into an active, empowered stance of self-sovereignty.
Ow.
Well, betrayal often really amplifies that harsh inner critic, doesn't it? That voice whispering corrosive things like, see, you weren't good enough, or you probably deserved this.
Yeah, that voice can be brutal.
Absolutely. So what this framework guides you to do through very specific exercises laid out in the book is to first identify and then consciously silence that critic.
Okay.
And then you begin to rediscover and reconnect with your core self. That means identifying your fundamental values, your unique strengths, your deep passions,
Right.
all the things that make you you, completely independent of the relationship that shattered.
Finding yourself again outside of the relationship.
Exactly. That renewed inner strength becomes your permanent anchor. It's something no external event, no other person's actions can take away from you again.
So with that inner anchor hopefully getting stronger, we reach Chapter 7, Forging a New Path, Deciding Your Future. This is the big fork in the road, isn't it? Reconciliation or moving forward independently.
It is, and the book is adamant that this pivotal choice must come from a place of profound clarity and self-respect. Not from fear, not from guilt, not from lingering obligation.
How does the book help someone make that choice? It's huge.
It provides strategic clarity without prescribing the right answer for everyone. For those even considering reconciliation, the book lays out a framework for understanding that you're not going back to the old relationship. That's impossible.
Right, you can't unring that bell.
Exactly. You'd be constructing an entirely new relationship. And the book specifies the necessary foundations for that. Things like radical transparency, genuine, demonstrated remorse, and verifiable, sustained effort from the betrayer. It sets a high bar.
And the other path, going alone.
The book frames the independent path not as a failure, but as a powerful declaration of self-preservation. It offers the raw freedom to design a future entirely on your terms, unburdened by those past betrayals.
Yeah.
The methods inside help you use that rediscovered core self to choose the path that truly aligns with your highest values and needs.
Which leads us to the final destination in the book's arc, Chapter 8, The Unbreakable Self, Thriving Beyond Betrayal. What does that look like?
It acknowledges that the scars might still be there. They don't magically disappear, but their narrative is transformed.
So.
The acute pain you went through becomes this incredible catalyst. It hones this razor-sharp self-awareness. It forges an almost impenetrable resilience. You fundamentally recalibrate what you value and appreciate in authentic intimacy and genuine connection.
So unbreakable doesn't mean invulnerable.
Not at all. The unbreakable self isn't immune to life's difficulties, but it is profoundly capable of healing, adapting, and flourishing regardless of external events. This final chapter, for what we see in the outline, illuminates how to integrate all those hard-won lessons to maintain a sense of purposeful joy, ongoing self-compassion, and a life that's genuinely aligned with those deep, reclaimed values.
So wrapping this up, what does this whole journey, this framework mean for you, the listener, sitting there right now, maybe feeling lost?
It means that the intense pain you're feeling, it's raw material, it's potential energy. It's not the final verdict on your life or your worth. Angel Gabriel's framework, as laid out in Reclaimed Heart, moves you systematically. From identifying the trauma and regulating your body's response, to analyzing relationship patterns, and finally to actively building this self-sovereignty. It's like being given the architectural blueprint to shift your core identity.
From someone defined by the betrayal.
Exactly, from
Right.
someone who was betrayed to someone who rebuilt themselves stronger and more authentic than before.
So you're no longer just a survivor reacting to events. You become the proactive architect of your own future. And Reclaimed Heart sounds like it provides the specific clarity, the tools to make choices rooted in your authentic self, not driven by fear or obligation.
That's the promise.
Okay, here's a final thought then. Your emotional resilience. Think of it like a muscle. It strengthens with every challenge you navigate consciously, every boundary you honor, every single act of deliberate self-love and self-compassion.
Mm.
If you feel ready to stop just wading through the fog, if you're ready to actually pick up the pen and write the next chapter, the story of your reclaimed heart, well, it sounds like the profound methodologies and the real answers are waiting for you inside those pages.
That's the clear message.
You can find those essential insights, that step-by-step framework, by getting the book Reclaimed Heart, Navigating Betrayal to Find Your Unbreakable Self by Angel Gabriel. It's published by Monad. Go find it and start building the most powerful version of yourself.